Hi folks, it's Tony Buck. What am I doing? A gutter garden. Yes, hanging a gutter on a fence which I can fill with soil and grow some sensitive plants. Things like lettuces and onions, things that don't grow too well down below for me anyway. So here I am just putting some seeds in a fully loaded up gutter. So perhaps you could try this too. You can put it on a fence. Here I am with a 10-foot long. They come in 10-foot sections. You can buy them from the large hardware stores. This one was $9, I think. So that's not too bad, is it? And maybe $1.50 for the caps. You're going to need some end caps. You're going to need a left and a right. So if you pick them up, make sure you get a left and a right. Don't come home with two lefts or two rights, because that's very annoying. Anyway, they're just made of aluminum and they push on the end like that. They're a little bit flexible, so you gotta, get it into place. Now you can cork these in place. Usually we do. We use a special cork, but I didn't have any of that. I didn't want to start that. They're like a $5 tube. So instead of corking the interior, I've got a few screws sitting around. So I'm going to put some sheet metal screws into that. It's only aluminum and they're going real easy. These have got little bits on the end to cut in. As you see, I'm making the screw go into the kind of, what we call it, recess there on the side of the gutter. I don't want it to go the other way because then somebody could pick up the gutter and stick it through their fingers. Now, I don't care if this thing leaks because it's a flower box basically, right? And I want it to leak. I want the water to get out. So I'm not really concerned. I don't really want to cork it, to be honest with you. Now look, here I am battling away thinking, how can I screw this and show you? Well, make your life easy. Always approach the job from the right angle. Don't think it has to be from one angle. So there we are. 3 screws does it. Keeps it in place. And now I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom. Oh, this is totally opposite to what I would normally do with a gutter because you don't want it to leak. But here I am drilling holes in the bottom of the gutter. I'm just using a 1/4-inch drill. Might need a bigger one later on. We'll see how it drains. I didn't want to overdo it. And then I'm going to drill a few holes right in the edge like that. I mean, it's close to the top anyway, but that's to let the excess water just run off without going through the soil. Because the trouble with draining like that, you could lose some of the nutrition. I'm sticking a hole in the end like that. When the water overflows, it could, lose some nutrition from the soil. So I'm using these large screws. These are for gutters. You have to buy 10 at a time. I've usually got a few in the truck, so it helps me. Now you could buy some single brackets from the same store, and brackets work really well. You don't have to buy a box of 10 of those, but get 3 brackets. You're going to need 3. Here it is in place. Most fence posts are 8 feet apart. That means you're going to be about a foot in on either side, and you want to hit the fence post because that's where the strength is. However, I got a bit of a sag in the middle because that's quite a lot of weight when you get that soil in there, especially when it's wet and it's not even wet yet. So you do need a central one, and here I am putting it in, and I'm going straight into the fence. Now I got to be careful because that's going to go through the other side, and my neighbor might not like that. Could be very sharp. So I'm going to check that out, and you need to check that out. I also got lucky with a 2x4 just under the gutter there, as you can see. That's going to help support it, and also it's going to help. You can put a 2x4 under there just to hold it if you like. So here I am putting some gravel in the bottom, just to help the drainage a little bit over the holes, and you can see the holes, and I'm throwing some soil in. First I'm putting some garden soil in, and then on top of that I was going to put some potting soil, so I didn't have to fill the whole thing with potting soil. The last inch or 2 is potting soil. There it is, full to the top, and it's holding up pretty well. Like I say, it gets pretty heavy, so you don't have to have a fence. You could have posts in your garden if the fence isn't in the sun. I'm making a little ridge here, a little groove for the seeds, just 1/4, 3/8 deep. And I'm going to put some radishes in first. Personally, I don't like radishes, but you know what I do like? I like their leaves. They're as nutritious, if not more nutritious, than the bulb. So I eat the greens. I use radishes for greens. There's a little innovation for you. This is great for lettuces, especially up off the ground. Going to throw some spring onions in as well. Great off the ground because if you've got rabbits or something, they can't get to this. Right? I don't plant lettuce personally. It has very little nutritional value, if anything. This is what I plant: rainbow mixed chard and some carrots. Now the rainbow mixed chard, I'm just going to pick those before they're even mature, because I'm going to use them as like a microgreen. I'll pick them as soon as they're, reasonable. Pat it in, just level it in like that. I couldn't find my small watering can, so I'm using just a cup, something like this, to just water the plants in. There it is, hanging on the fence. Should look nice when it's all full of veggies, all grown up. And there it is again. Okay, good luck. And look, make sure there's a screw in the middle, screw on the ends, like that. As I say, you could just put it on a post.